2026 is about to shake up the small truck world in a way nobody expected. New models are arriving, old favorites are shifting, and a few trucks that look like safe bets absolutely aren't.
Thousands of trucks ready for sale, just sitting unused in lots.
Beneath the marketing hype are quiet changes, some good, some risky, that most buyers will never notice until it's too late. But here's the surprising truth. Out of everything hitting the market, only 7 small trucks truly stand out. Which ones earned a spot? Which ones didn't? And what crucial details are hiding behind the brochures? Stick around, because before you even think about buying a truck in 2026, you need to know which 7 are actually worth your money, and which ones could become your biggest regret. Hyundai Santa Cruz, the story of the refreshed 2026. Hyundai Santa Cruz begins with a truth many longtime truck owners quietly admit. Not every driver needs a towering, full-frame beast to feel capable, confident, or in control. Some simply want a machine that handles the grocery run and the gravel road with equal ease, without swallowing half the driveway or punishing them at the fuel pump. That is where the latest Santa Cruz makes its stand, stepping forward as Hyundai's most mature take yet on the compact truck concept. It is no longer an experiment, no longer a quirky crossover with a bed. It is becoming the truck many early skeptics now admit they underestimated. For years, drivers who loved old-school mini trucks, those light, maneuverable rigs from the 1980s and 90 era, complained that modern pickups kept getting bigger, heavier, and packed with complicated tech they never asked for. Hyundai struck a nerve when it released the original Santa Cruz, tapping into that forgotten desire for something smaller and smarter. But the Santa Cruz had rough edges. Road noise, uneven suspension tuning, and towing software that did not always inspire confidence left some buyers wishing Hyundai would dig deeper. With the 2026 refresh, that deeper work is finally visible. Hyundai confirmed that the retuned suspension features revised damping and firmer lateral stability settings, giving the Santa Cruz a steadier, more planted feel during cornering and at highway speeds. Drivers who spend long stretches commuting will immediately notice the improvement as the truck settles into a more confident rhythm instead of bouncing across expansion joints. Alongside that, Hyundai's effort to reduce in-cabin noise, especially at mid-range speeds, translates into a calmer driving environment, an upgrade older owners in particular will appreciate. It is proof that Hyundai is listening to the people who want a small truck that does not feel cheaply built or fatiguing over longer days behind the wheel. Utility also steps forward in meaningful ways. The towing, logic, and traction adjustments in the refreshed Santa Cruz deliver smoother trailer engagement and better throttle control under load. While the Santa Cruz will never pretend to be a heavy-duty hauler, the updated software gives light-duty users confidence for weekend towing, small cargo trailers, home improvement runs, and outdoor gear. It embraces what compact trucks were always meant to do: handle the essentials without overkill. Emotionally, the updated Santa Cruz appeals to drivers who crave freedom from oversized machinery. It is for those who remember when trucks felt like extensions of their own hands, easy to place on narrow streets, nimble in parking lots, and comfortable for everyday life. Hyundai leans into that sentiment with cleaner interior design, simplified controls, and ride quality that feels more dialed in and intentional. The takeaway is simple. The 2026 Santa Cruz stands as Hyundai's most confident step into the compact truck arena, filled with subtle but meaningful improvements that finally align the truck with what buyers hoped it would be. And while it is a strong starting point, the next truck in this countdown proves what happens when simplicity, heritage, and durability collide in a way no competitor can ignore. Nissan Frontier. There is a certain kind of quiet confidence found in machines that do not chase headlines, and the 2026 Nissan Frontier embodies that spirit better than any other small truck on the American road. While competitors scramble toward turbocharging, electrified drivetrains, and layers of software complexity, the Frontier stands in the middle of the storm like an anchor driven deep into bedrock. It survives by refusing to become something it is not. Instead, Nissan doubled down on the qualities older truck owners value most: simplicity, predictability, and mechanical honesty. That commitment is exactly why the refreshed Frontier secures its place on this countdown. When Nissan revived the Frontier platform in 2021, after leaving the previous generation in production for nearly 12 years, many industry watchers predicted an aggressive push toward modern tech. Instead, Nissan surprised everyone by choosing durability over novelty. The Frontier's naturally aspirated 3.8-liter V6 engine, yes, the same one producing over 300 horsepower, without any turbochargers or hybrid boosters returns, once again, for 2026. For buyers who have grown tired of small engines pushed to their limit by forced induction, this is a breath of fresh air. It is raw, uncomplicated strength. The absence of turbocharging does more than simplify the engine bay. It reduces thermal stress, eliminates an entire category of maintenance headaches, and provides a linear throttle response that older drivers instantly recognize. There is no surge, no delay, no artificial torque curve to learn. What you give is what you get. And that transparency is a feature modern trucks rarely offer. Add Nissan's proven 9-speed automatic transmission refined over several software updates since its debut, and the Frontier becomes one of the most predictable driving experiences in the segment. Structurally, the Frontier retains its boxed steel frame, a design that prioritizes rigidity and long-term endurance. Nissan engineers reinforced several mounting points during the last redesign, and those improvements carry directly into the 2026 model year. The result is a truck that tolerates rough roads, heavy bed loads, and aging suspension components without developing the creaks and flex that plague lighter, thinner frames. In long-term reliability studies, platforms with this kind of construction consistently outperform lighter unibody competitors by wide margins, sometimes exceeding 200,000 miles with normal maintenance. Emotionally, the Frontier speaks to a tribe of drivers who have lost patience with trucks trying to be luxury sedans. They want a machine they can hose out, repair easily, and trust to work every day without complaint. Nissan leans into that identity with cabin materials that resist wear, controls that feel substantial, and a driving posture reminiscent of older mid-size rigs from the early 2000s. Nothing feels fragile, overly digital, or gimmick-driven. Instead, the Frontier offers a grounded sense of permanence. If the 2026 Santa Cruz represents refinement and urban practicality, then the 2026 Frontier is its philosophical opposite: a truck, built for people who intend to keep their vehicle for more than 150,000 miles. And as strong as this entry is, the next rank on our list takes the conversation in a different direction by adding capability and comfort in ways that might surprise even veteran truck owners. If you're finding this breakdown useful, make sure to like the video and subscribe so you never miss the next update. Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know which small truck you're leaning toward as we move deeper into the list. GMC Canyon. There are trucks that try to impress you with brute force, and then there are trucks that make their case through refinement, balance, and a sense of deliberate engineering. The 2026 GMC Canyon belongs squarely in the latter category. It arrives not as a headline chaser, but as a mid-size machine crafted for drivers who want capability delivered with confidence, composure, and a touch of premium feel that never crosses into unnecessary luxury. In a market overflowing with noise and gimmicks, the Canyon stands out by being unquestionably competent. The current generation Canyon made its debut only a few years prior, and GMC spent that time strengthening what already set it apart: chassis stiffness, suspension precision, and a powertrain designed to offer real-world grunt rather than marketing-friendly numbers. Under the hood remains the high-output 2.7-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, an unlikely hero that quickly proved it could replace both an aging V6 and a small diesel without compromise. Producing well over 300 horsepower and torque figures that once required a full-size truck, this engine anchors the Canyon with a sense of authority rarely found in the mid-size bracket. What makes the Canyon special is not simply the power, but how it uses it. The throttle mapping, revised shift logic, and carefully tuned boost curve create a driving experience that feels smooth, predictable, and muscular without ever feeling frantic. Unlike some overboosted small engines, the Canyon's power delivery does not spike or collapse abruptly. It maintains a steady push, giving drivers the confidence to merge, tow, and haul without guesswork. This is the kind of performance tuning that shows GMC understands its audience. People who want reliability baked into the experience, not hidden behind it. Structurally, the Canyon continues with a boxed steel frame, reinforced during the major redesign in the early 2020s. The result is a truck that feels planted on uneven surfaces, confident during heavy braking, and remarkably composed while towing mid-weight loads. Owners consistently report that even after several years of ownership, the Canyon's structure resists the early rattles and vibrations that plague less rigid platforms. Pair that with a suspension setup tailored for comfort without sacrificing control, And the Canyon offers a ride quality that feels closer to a full-size truck than its dimensions suggest. Emotionally, the Canyon speaks to drivers who want capability with a sense of dignity. The interior, while not luxurious, carries a maturity in its materials and layout that elevates the daily experience. Seats offer firm, long-distance support. Controls feel deliberate and substantial. And the overall cabin design communicates purpose rather than pretense. It is a truck for owners who work hard but expect their vehicle to support them, not punish them. In an era when many mid-size trucks are experimenting with identity, the 2026 GMC Canyon remains confident in what it is, a strong, refined, capable machine that earns respect quietly but consistently. And if the Canyon represents measured strength, the next truck on our list leans into value and capability with a boldness that demands attention from every buyer watching the segment. Chevy Colorado. Every so often, a truck arrives that does not try to reinvent the segment, but instead perfects the fundamentals that built the segment in the first place. The 2026 Chevy Colorado steps confidently into that role. It is not the loudest, flashiest, or most aggressively marketed midsize truck, yet it consistently proves that a well-engineered foundation can outperform gimmicks and trend chasing. The Colorado earns its position on this list by delivering straightforward strength, real capability, and value that becomes even more obvious when placed side by side with its competitors. Chevy's redesign from the early 2020s created a strong backbone for the current Colorado, and the 2026 model continues that architecture without compromise. Its boxed steel frame, reinforced mounting points, and improved torsional rigidity give the truck a sense of structural discipline that drivers immediately feel. On uneven highways, dirt roads, or steep grades, the Colorado feels planted and unbothered. This is the hallmark of a truck built to endure years of hard use rather than showroom posing. Power comes from the now well-established 2.7-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine, shared with its sibling under the GMC badge, but tuned specifically for Chevy's more work-focused personality, producing robust horsepower and torque figures that match or exceed older V6 engines. This power plant has proven itself capable of towing, hauling, and daily commuting without strain. The engine's broad torque curve gives the Colorado a confident, muscular pull from low speeds to highway merging, and the revised shift logic in the paired automatic transmission keeps the truck in its ideal power band with minimal hunting. The result is a driving experience that feels both efficient and strong, a rare combination in this class. Beyond power, the Colorado's suspension tuning gives it a distinct personality. Chevy engineers aimed for a blend of control and comfort, prioritizing precise body motion without making the truck feel harsh. That balance is especially noticeable when carrying moderate loads or towing mid-range trailers. The truck maintains composure, reduces bounce, and avoids the wallowing sensation that plagued earlier generations. For many drivers, this translates to a sense of confidence that grows with every mile. Inside, the Colorado avoids the temptation to overcomplicate its controls or drown the cabin in unnecessary screens. While modern features are present, Chevy maintains a straightforward, durable layout built for real use. Materials withstand wear, the seating position feels commanding, and the truck gives the impression that it was built by engineers who understand long-term ownership instead of short-term trends. This is a truck designed to age well, and that is increasingly rare. Emotionally, the Colorado appeals to the buyer who wants capability without the added cost of a prestige badge. It is the working person's mid-sized truck, competent, well-priced, and always ready to get the job done. For those who demand strength at a fair value, the Colorado stands as one of the smartest plays on the market. And while the Colorado excels through value and dependability, the next truck in our countdown lifts the conversation to an entirely different level by leaning on decades of reputation and near-legendary staying power: Toyota Tacoma. Some trucks build reputations, while others inherit legacies that seem almost impossible to surpass. The 2026 Toyota Tacoma walks into that arena carrying a weight no mid-size competitor can fully understand, because for decades, the Tacoma has been more than a truck. It has been a benchmark. It is the model owners routinely drive past 200,000 miles, the one that consistently commands high resale, even with years of hard use, and the one buyers trust when they need durability above all else. The newest generation pushes that heritage forward with precision, discipline, and engineering choices designed to strengthen what has always made the Tacoma special. Toyota's redesign from the early 2020s gave the Tacoma a completely reimagined platform, and the 2026 model continues refining that shift. Built on the TNGAF architecture, the same global body-on-frame structure shared with Toyota's larger trucks, the Tacoma gains enhanced rigidity and improved ride stability. The old leaf spring rear end long, criticized for its stiffness, is gone. In its place, Toyota installed a coil spring suspension system that dramatically improves composure over rough roads and elevates comfort on long highway stretches. Drivers accustomed to the Tacoma's older, choppier ride will immediately feel the difference. Under the hood, Toyota leans into hybrid efficiency without compromising strength. The available iForce Max hybrid system pairs a 2.4-liter turbocharged engine with electric assistance, creating torque figures that rival older V6 powertrains while delivering meaningful improvements in fuel economy. This hybrid setup is not a gimmick or a range-limited experiment. It is built for towing stability, low-end grunt, and long-term reliability three pillars Tacoma owners demand. By avoiding the complexity of plug-in systems and focusing on proven hybrid technology, Toyota strikes a balance that suits real-world truck use. Inside the cabin, the Tacoma transitions into modern comfort without abandoning its working truck identity. Materials feel solid, controls have weight, and the ergonomics finally catch up to what owners have requested for years. Taller drivers benefit from improved seating geometry, while the updated cabin layout reduces fatigue during extended trips. Every improvement feels intentional, not flashy evidence of Toyota's tendency to prioritize longevity over trends. What truly cements the 2026 Tacoma's place on this list is the numbers behind its reputation. Year after year, independent studies show Tacoma resale values exceeding those of nearly every competitor, sometimes by margins of 20% or more. Insurance companies and fleet operators regularly cite the truck's low failure rates compared to segment averages. In an automotive landscape obsessed with rapid change, the Tacoma's consistency becomes its greatest strength. It is the steady, reliable heartbeat of the midsize segment. Emotionally, the Tacoma appeals to owners who value trust. It is for drivers who want a vehicle they can hand down, not trade in. It speaks to those who believe durability is not an option, it is a requirement. And while Toyota's legend makes a powerful case, the next truck in our countdown takes the conversation in a more adventurous direction, offering a capability package that no other small truck can duplicate. If you want the most reliable guides on what to buy, what to avoid, and how to protect your wallet in the shifting truck market, subscribe now. Every week brings new changes, and staying informed is the best way to make the right decision. Jeep Gladiator. Some trucks promise adventure, but the 2026 Jeep Gladiator does something bolder. It makes adventure unavoidable. Every line, bolt, and structural choice in this machine points toward a life lived far from paved predictability. Where other mid-sized trucks dabble in off-road marketing, the Gladiator carries the DNA of a legend, the unmistakable lineage of the Wrangler. That heritage is not simply cosmetic. It is foundational, mechanical, and deeply felt. The moment the tires leave smooth asphalt, the refreshed Gladiator enters 2026 with renewed confidence, retaining its core strengths while sharpening the details that matter most to committed off-roaders. The Gladiator's tower of capability rests on its ladder frame, a design born from Jeep's extensive military and recreational history. This structure provides articulation numbers and approach angles that many competitors cannot match, even with specialized off-road packages. Paired with solid axles at both ends, an increasingly rare engineering choice in modern trucks, the Gladiator brings a combination of durability and flexibility that shines when the terrain turns punishing. Drivers accustomed to independent front suspension systems are often surprised by how confidently the Gladiator plants itself on uneven rock and sand. It feels purposeful, almost inevitable in the way it climbs and crawls. Under the hood, the proven 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 returns, delivering a balance of reliability, low-end torque, and mechanical simplicity that fits Jeep's mission. While turbocharged 4 cylinders and emerging hybrid systems populate the rest of the market, Jeep's insistence on a naturally aspirated engine has earned a loyal following. There is no complicated boost curve to manage, no sudden surge or lag, just consistent, predictable power. For off-roaders navigating tight trails or managing slow-speed technical climbs, that linear response is priceless. The 2026 Gladiator also benefits from cabin improvements introduced in the mid-cycle refresh of the early 2020s. The dashboard layout becomes cleaner and more intuitive, materials feel sturdier, and the available driver assistance technology integrates more naturally into the experience, without overshadowing the truck's analog roots. Jeep kept the roof-off, doors-off capability fully intact, allowing owners to experience open-air driving in a way no other truck in this class can replicate. This is not a gimmick. It is a direct connection to the Gladiator's lineage, a reminder that adventure is not a weekend exception, but a lifestyle choice. Statistically, the Gladiator continues to lead its segment in off-road participation rates, with owners using their trucks for trail activities at levels nearly double those of competing midsize models. That real-world engagement reinforces what the data already suggests. Buyers choose the Gladiator because it aligns with who they are, not simply what they need. It is the rare truck that becomes a companion instead of a tool. Emotionally, the Gladiator speaks to the driver, who finds peace on dirt, who seeks challenge over comfort, and who wants capability that refuses to apologize. And yet, as dominant as the Gladiator is off the beaten path, the #1 truck on our list takes a very different route, rewriting the small truck rulebook by delivering value, efficiency, and practicality on a scale no competitor has matched: Ford Maverick. Some trucks earn attention through brute force, but the 2026 Ford Maverick captures its audience by redefining what a small truck can be in an era overloaded with excess. Instead of chasing size or prestige, it focuses on usability, affordability, and the kind of mechanical honesty older drivers appreciate. It steps into the market as a practical answer to rising fuel costs and shrinking parking spaces, proving that capability does not always require weight or noise. Where many automakers have abandoned the compact truck formula, Ford doubled down and refined it. The Maverick's hybrid powertrain, pairing a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated engine with electric assistance, returns in 2026 as one of the most efficient truck systems ever deployed in the United States market. Its torque delivery remains smooth, immediate, and predictable, giving the truck an ease of use unmatched by turbocharged engines that rely heavily on boost. The result is a driving experience that feels confident, responsive, and remarkably civilized. Ford's engineers did not stop at efficiency. The EcoBoost variant, with its 2-liter turbocharged engine, continues offering robust horsepower and towing strength for drivers who demand more grunt. Paired with refined transmission logic and a chassis tuned for stability, the Maverick performs tasks that earlier compact trucks from the 1980s and early 2000s could only dream of. This is capability engineered with purpose, enough strength for real weekend projects, enough composure for long commutes, and enough predictability for owners who prefer a truck that will still feel solid at 150,000 miles. Inside, the Maverick's cabin design emphasizes practicality without sacrificing comfort. Storage solutions are thoughtful, materials feel sturdy, and the seating geometry suits a wide range of drivers, including those accustomed to older mid-size rigs. The cabin avoids unnecessary complexity, allowing owners to interact with controls intuitively, rather than navigating layers of digital menus. Ford's design philosophy shows restraint, and that restraint translates into long-term usability and increasingly rare quality in modern vehicles. Financially, the Maverick remains a standout. In an environment where average truck prices push higher every year, the Maverick's reasonable cost of entry, combined with exceptional fuel savings, creates one of the lowest lifetime ownership costs in the segment. Insurance data, repair cost studies, and resale trends consistently show that the Maverick behaves more like an investment than an expense. Even higher mileage examples hold strong value, reinforcing the truck's reputation as a dependable, cost-effective choice for pragmatic buyers. Emotionally, the Maverick speaks to drivers who value capability wrapped in simplicity. It evokes the spirit of classic compact pickups, lightweight, maneuverable, and honest, while integrating modern engineering that enhances rather than complicates the ownership experience. It is a truck built for people who believe machines should work with them, not against them. And while the Maverick dominates the segment through balance and efficiency, the next chapter in this countdown will pivot toward a broader conclusion that ties together every lesson from each truck we have explored. And that wraps up the 7 small trucks that actually deserve a spot on your 2026 shortlist. If this breakdown helped you dodge a bad buy or pointed you toward the right one, let me know. Drop a comment below and tell us which truck you're leaning toward or which one surprised you the most. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next guide that could save you money, time, and a whole lot of frustration on your next purchase.